Hello and welcome to episode 211 of the 77 Club. Harry, start with the socials.
Can't be arsed today, Sam. Just crack on. All right, Jack?
You know where to find us by now. Jack said he'd come on, but he couldn't promise he'd smile. He's kept to that. So this is very raw. So just after the penalty shootout loss to Nottingham Forest in the League Cup, we will talk about the Liverpool game, another cup farce later on in the show. But let's start with what we've just seen. Harry, when the team came out, I don't think anybody was very hopeful at all. And that first first half, I suppose, was pretty dreadful.
Yeah, the team shocked me a bit, I must admit. I thought he'd go stronger than that. We were debating.
Breaking news. Sorry, Jeff Beck has died. Obviously, the singer of Hi Ho, Silver Lining. There you go.
Oh, really?
Was that when the last pen was saved?
Yeah,
that was 78 years old.
What a depressing night! Jesus Christ, it's all happening.
Yeah, just
rest in peace. Sorry, the team. Yeah, we were discussing, weren't we? Is it a 5-2-3? Is it a 4-4-2? It turned out it was a 5 at the back, which I didn't like, with Johnny and right centre back, Aït-Nouri left wing back. And we were awful, weren't we, first half an hour. We got back into it a bit with Hwang and Raul's chance. Nice to see Bolly not celebrating. A certain Morgan Gibbs-White could take some class out of his book, the idiot, but he obviously didn't, which we'll get on to. But yeah, and then Lopetegui made the right changes second half and we got the equaliser, and we probably should have won it in normal time, but I'm still fuming after that penalty shootout.
I'll just talk for a little bit. I was
going to let you do it then.
Yeah, fine. It's. I always hate doing podcasts just after a game, especially when we've it's hard to process it, isn't it? The team selection was strange. I was worried straight away as soon as I saw the team. I think it's always worrying when there's a big debate about what formation we're playing and who's playing where, because if the fans can't work it out, then you're thinking it's obviously not going to be sort of bread and butter to the players themselves as well. And I think that showed first half, really. The first half an hour particularly, we just looked all over the place. It was just very, very sloppy, stupid passes. And ultimately, that's when we conceded. We let in probably another sloppy goal off a corner. It just whacks Johnny in the face, doesn't it? And then falls to Bolly like 2 feet out, if that. But then the good thing about Lopetegui so far is he doesn't see things and he changes it. And he brought Neves on at half time, which was crying out for. Changed the game. And then I think with much the better side, second half. And at the end, really, Forest were holding on. The problem is, though, that I sort of knew as soon as we got to a penalty situation that I just, we can't hit a barn door at the best of times, can we? So how are we going to win a penalty shootout? And I was shocked that Neves missed his opening penalty, and I didn't see that coming. I thought he'd be one of the reliable ones. The penalty takers after that were already good until, and as soon as he said the name, I was thinking to myself, who's going to take the fourth penalty? Who's going to take the fifth penalty? And in my head, I was thinking it's going to be Adama, and it's going to go into the sky. But fair play to Hodge for stepping up. You can't really blame him. But there's just a few things in that game. I thought Sarr had saved Gibbs-White's penalty, to be honest. I think everyone did. Yeah. I thought he'd saved it. And on top of that, it's just the penalty shout is the thing that's just getting to me right now.
God,
the fact that Matthias's boot has come off and the ref is in perfect position to see that. It's gone down the back of his leg, taken his shoe off, and he waves play on. And it just seems at the moment, I don't want to just sound like we're the victims here or crying, but whether VAR is there or VAR isn't there, it doesn't matter because we're getting the same decisions. And we've had 2 shouts. We've had a goal disallowed last week, which should have stood, which VAR just didn't turn up for because for whatever bullshit reason they made up. And today there's no VAR and the ref can't get it right anyway when he's 10 feet away. So what's the point?
Completely.
Going back to my beer now.
Harry, I think you made the point at the end of the game that Dean Henderson had pretty much won that game for Forest by himself. 2 very, very good saves. One was against Jimenez, who can't buy a goal.
Who's done that?
So this is the picture. If you're watching on YouTube, sorry if you're on the podcast, but this is the Morgan Gibbs-White, fingers in his ears, eyes closed, giving the Wolves fans who were behind the goal during the penalty shootout a lot of stick. Probably about as much class as I would have thought would come from him, Harry. He does seem to have a chip on his shoulder. If you compare him to Willy Boly in terms of professionalism, I know you mentioned it before. Do you think he's doing himself a favour in that sort of situation? Do you think if it was the other way around and it was a Wolves player that was doing that to his old club, how you'd feel about it?
It's just absolutely classless. I know he had a rocky time with us and he had a lot of stick. And there was that a situation that Leeds away at the beginning of the season when I think his dad got in a fight with a Wolves fan in the away end. But it's just classless. It's just naive. Like I said, take a leaf out of Willy Boly's book. Show some class. And when he scored it, first of all, it's embarrassing for him to do that when his penalty was absolutely shit and Sarr should have saved it. Awful run up, weak penalty. Sarr should save it. And then he ran off, and it's the fact that he stopped himself to turn around and just stood there like an idiot. And then Cunha, funnily, I love Cunha, by the way. Great assist for Raul's goal. Love the fact he took the piss out of Gibbs-White doing the same thing when he scored his penalty. And then as we've seen on social media and things like that, he's gone up to Cunha after the game, Gibbs-White, trying to start on him, and Totti's grabbed him and got rid of him. He's trying to get at Wolves players. He just looks like a spoilt little brat, Gibbs-White. And I mean, he's from the area, but he ain't going to be welcome back around this area for a while, is he? He ain't going to be welcome back with open arms. And like I said, he's had a bit of a rough time of it at Wolves. There's an article that came out today of him explaining that he fell out of love with football because he couldn't get in our first team. Well, he should have played a bit better, shouldn't he? He didn't do enough for us, and that's why he's left. And for me, I'm sorry, I know it's a bit raw and it's just happened. We've gone out the cup. It's just so frustrating because his penalty was crap. His celebration was idiot as well, because it's the celebration that Albion player did, isn't it? When we lost 3-2 to them. And he's an idiot. I think he'll regret it in weeks to come. But yeah, he just looks like I don't want to swear too much, but he looks like a bloody idiot to me.
Missed opportunity there, wasn't it, Jack? Especially with Man City going out this evening, and we're thinking, oh, all the omens were there. Haven't been in a semi-final of the League Cup since we actually won it, beating Forest, who were, I think, reigning European champions at the time and looking to secure their third in a row. It wasn't to be, but we were talking about this. I know it was a backdoor to Europe potentially, even though it's Conference League. But of course, you would take it at this point, securing survival. We hope, and potentially getting into Europe to attract that better caliber of player.
Yeah, I made the mistake earlier. I think I said in the WhatsApp group, like, if we get through, then just avoid City, because you don't, then we've got a chance. And now City are out, so whoever the draw's going to happen while we're on air here, isn't it now? So they'll probably end up getting Southampton, won't they, Forest? I'm sure somebody will tell us in the comments when they see who they have got, but it's a massive missed opportunity. But at the same time, you can't sit here.
Forest
and
have got Man United
now. Forest got Man United. It's happened that quickly. Okay,
yeah.
So even then, we'd have a chance against Man United. We're not, as you've seen from recent years. But what I was going to say, but if you really want to get a backdoor into Europe, then you play your strongest team in this game, which I know you can't do when you've got West Ham on Saturday, which when Lopetegui came into this club, he wouldn't have been tasked with, right, you've got to go and win the win the League Cup. That'd be tough. But his task would have been, right, you've got to come in here now, difficult situation, you keep the team in the Premier League. And that's his priority. And I've seen nothing so far to suggest he won't do that. So that's why his team selections in the last two games have been, not what you'd really expect. But at the same time, it's just disappointing as being a Wolves fan and just looking not just at the picture right now, but in our lifetimes that, like you said earlier, Harry, we've never been in a League Cup semi-final.
Our last League Cup semi-final was when we won it against Forest in 1980, which is
exactly
mad. I couldn't believe when I looked at that.
Well, yeah, I know, and we've had a favourable run, haven't we? Really, we haven't really played anybody yet. That's part of it. But yeah, it is a missed opportunity. But there are bigger fish to fry, so I understand it completely, particularly with the congested fixture list after the World Cup and the fact we've now got a replay against Liverpool, which nobody wanted and just shouldn't have happened in the first place. But I don't know, really.
Let's talk about that game, actually. Harry, when that team came out against Liverpool, even my dad, who's a Liverpool fan, came in and said, well, Wolves taking it seriously then. And I was like, this could be a cricket score here. And to be fair, the first 15 minutes, I think they absolutely battered us, but grew into the game. Even Johnny looked good. But an absolute farce again of VAR, and also the offside rule for Salah's goal. You may as well just goal hang in the 6-yard box in the hope it's going to hit a defender. It's completely ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, because obviously we've still got Forest on our mind. The two big talking points, as you mentioned, that Salah goal, that rule has got to be changed.
It's ridiculous.
It's got to be changed. Ridiculous. If Totti just leaves it, obviously Salah's offside because he goes for it. He's on. Don't make sense. We all know about the Totti goal. Absolute farce that a ground like Anfield hasn't got one camera that can pick up the fact that Nunes was onside, as we've all seen.
Don't buy it. Don't buy it.
It's just if it's the other way around, the ref don't even put his flag up, does he?
This is the thing. That's the thing about. Sorry to interrupt, but the thing that just riles me up about the two situations is it's whatever. I know all the Liverpool fans will say, "Oh yeah, but it happens to us." Blah 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 blah. I think both of those decisions on the day, the Salah goal and the Totti goal for us, would have gone the opposite way if it was for Liverpool, because there's that degree of, it's not just like, there's that degree of uncertainty about Totti's goal, because if a defender plays the ball, he has to actually be in control of it when he's doing it. And what was he? Or was he stretching for it? He wouldn't have played it if Salah wasn't there. Everyone knows that. So it's weird straight away. And I think that could have been interpreted the other way if it had to be. And we all know about the what should have been the winning goal is that flag wouldn't have gone up. That's the thing. It goes one way for Liverpool, one way for us. If we score a goal, then VAR has to prove that it was a goal. If Liverpool score, then it's the opposite. So that's the whole level of interpretation about it. The shot I just don't buy, and we see it all the time. And I'm guessing a lot of the other 14 clubs do in this league is that the refs are so scared against getting something wrong against Liverpool that they have to have it's unconscious bias to a degree that would favour those. And when you're just seeing the videos of the refs telling him to put the flag up when he's already running back, it's just like, what is going on there? So
what I will say, the other thing to relate to tonight actually is, what I don't get about tonight, because of that Liverpool game, we played 4-4-2. I know, as Sam said, we started off quite bad against Liverpool first 15 minutes or so. But after that, we just went for it, didn't we? And had a go at them and created chances. Ended up scoring 3 goals, really, if you're taking into consideration how bad the VAR decision was. But why didn't we do that tonight? I don't know why we went 5 at the back tonight. Why didn't he just play the team? Maybe play the players he started, but do a 4-4-2. Put Aït-Nouri on the left, on the left. Play Guedes as the 10, Hwang out on the right. And have a go with them. And we just sat back, didn't we, first half hour against Forest tonight. That's what frustrates me. And a lot of people are saying in the comments, I must say, sorry to go back to Forest, but that's all everyone's talking about. Forest are really crap as well, aren't they? They are rubbish. And they were and I know they were better than us first half hour tonight, but we should have beat them. They're so bad. Gibbs-White was really up for it, obviously. He was dying to score so he could do his silly celebration in normal time, but then he did it in the penalty shootout. But that's what frustrates me. But I think if Lopetegui could look back on that and change it, I think he probably would have played the 4-4-2 or 4-4-1-1 instead of playing Johnny at right centre back with a 5. And what I will say as well, I really think we miss Collins at the back. We look so shaky and weak without him in there. He had a blinder against Liverpool. I know he made that mistake for Liverpool's equaliser, but he had an absolute blinder. He was brilliant. And I keep forgetting he's only 21 as well. The lad's brilliant. I know he's had a lot of stick lately as well, but I think he's really good. Kilman, struggling. And I thought he struggled again tonight as well. But yeah, I just wish we'd have gone for it a bit more first half.
I think
today.
A shout out to Lembakisa.
Brilliant.
Fit in perfectly, I think, as well against Liverpool. I think he deserved a shout against Forest tonight. I think against Forest, I don't think I've ever seen us give the ball away so cheaply, so many times as we did tonight. It's so frustrating. And Harry, back to your point, is that Forest don't look very good at all, and they were just as bad, to be honest. But it was end to end. Martin in the comments says Totti played well. Couldn't agree more. I think he's really growing into a decent player. And Harry, I know you said they looked a bit shaky, but I don't know if some of that is Johnny being part of that centre back area.
Well, Totti, obviously, he made the mistake for Salah's goal against Liverpool, scored the third. But he's got a mistake in him, Totti. I think he's done okay, don't get me wrong, but he has got a mistake in him. He's a bit panicky on the ball. He makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. But he's no worse than Kilman at the moment, for me. Kilman looks just as shaky. So, yeah, I think Totti's got a lot to improve on.
It's an area that we need to strengthen, but at the same time, I didn't see what happened. But if he did lamp Gibbs-White out,
apparently
he didn't he? So I don't know what happened afterwards, but that's like hero status straight away after that, isn't it?
Yeah. Forget any mistake he's made. If he's ragdolled Morgan Gibbs-White around Nottingham, we'll let him off. I love that.
Couple of things. Cunha being one of them. I think we've probably got a player there, haven't we, Harry? It's ball to Jimenez. I know it was a tap in, but A, you've got to get the ball in the box as he did, and B, you've got to be there to tap in.
Yeah, and he set up the goal, didn't he, for Hwang against Liverpool, and
Yeah.
I said, didn't I, after even that little cameo against Villa, I said on this podcast, I really like the look of him. I love his personality, like we mentioned, of him mocking Gibbs-White and having a bit of a tussle with him after the game. And for me, if Diego Costa's injured, which I think he is, I know Raul scored tonight, but again, I thought he was rubbish. So I'd play Cunha for the middle up front. I'd have him as the main striker. I really like the look of him. He had a few like shots tonight were a bit weird. Where he had remember that one shot he had where he went miles wide. But I like him. I like his personality. I like everything about him, and I'd have him as my main man up front now.
There was a comical about 2 minutes, probably about 75, 80 minutes, where Semedo let the ball just roll out of play. Hodge tried to have a shot from a promising position in the box and missed the ball. And then Cunha had that one that just went out in between the corner flag and the goal, which you're just thinking, like, what is going on here? And it's not summing it up, but it just shows that, you know, it was just sloppy. Even in the second half, there was just sloppiness which shouldn't be creeping in. And Lopetegui, to be fair, was going nuts when he was not happy with some of the things he was
probably about 90 minutes. Yeah.
But so I imagine that he definitely, particularly at halftime, gave him a right talking to, because it definitely did improve. Yeah. Obviously, the formation change helped as well. But
I love how animated Lopetegui is. Like you can't say he don't care, can you? Like he got booked, didn't
he? He does not give a shit about the technical area markings.
Does he bollocks? The lines don't exist to him. He might as well run to the corner flag.
If Joe Hodge is the answer, then what is the question? Because I don't see
not
it
penalties.
I mean, I thought Hodge was brilliant against Liverpool. I thought he had a really good game. Obviously, come on tonight. Didn't have much time to make an impact. Had that one that come to him on his left foot and he kind of missed it. But to have him as the fifth penalty taker, I don't know who chose that. I'm assuming Lopetegui chose it. Bad decision for me. Big pressure. Even if he was taking the penalty to win it, still huge pressure to put on the young lad's shoulders. Why not have Neves as the fifth penalty taker?
No, you put your best penalty taker first, which I know didn't work. But we saw that at the World Cup, didn't we? We saw it at the World Cup. Is you put your best players first. The question is, why is Hodge taking one in the first five anyway? It should have been Traore, really. He's an attacking player.
Well, we'd have lost anyway, wouldn't we? He'd have skied.
Yeah, well, yeah, but again, it's putting a lot of pressure on a very, very young player. I'm guessing he put his hand up and said, "I want to take one," which fair play to him. But even then, you could look to one of your wingers. Sorry, one of your wing backs, or a centre back, because they had a few defenders take their penalties, didn't they? But I don't know. Really, it's one of those where you can't really moan at him for stepping up and having it to take on. But as soon as I saw it was Hodge, I was like, oh no. Like you just saw it coming in here, because it's a lot of pressure.
I weirdly never had the situation before. I felt like Neves was going to miss as well for some reason.
See, I didn't. I thought Neves would score.
Nah, I just had a weird feeling. He had a bit of a weird game, didn't he, when he come on?
He had a ropey, again, just a weird shaky, particularly first 10 minutes, where he was just straight passes and headed back. Yeah,
he headed it straight into his path, and Gibbs-White obviously got the shot off. God, I'm just thinking now of mistakes in that when Semedo hit his knee at the inside of the post, like got away with that one. God, he was a bit shaky at times tonight at the back.
It was not, from both sides. It was not a particularly brilliant technical game of football. Let's be honest. No. It was a bit shaky, a bit like a cup tie, really. But it is a bit gutting, it, particularly after we got ourselves back in the game with a better team. We had the penalty shout. Granted, they had that one, like you said, that they hit the post as well, which could have given them the win. But yeah,
bit of a rivalry brewing against Forest now, isn't there? I think that's going to cause. It's a bit like after the playtime with the Wolves. I'm assuming this is a Nottingham Forest fan that's come in, but I think he's referring to that tweet that Wolves took the piss out of when we beat them 1-0 at Molineux. Now this has happened with Gibbs-White. Probably a bit of and we're in a relegation battle with them, so it's going to be one of those weird rivalries that probably gets created. But I'm still, it's a bit dangerous doing the podcast now because I'm still seething about Gibbs-White. I'm being really careful with what I say, but he ain't going to be able to walk around Wolverhampton freely for a while, is he? Let's be honest.
I wouldn't have thought so. But it does add a little bit of spice to the game at the City Ground later on in the season. It will be interesting to see what happens. It'll be interesting to see what players are turning out for Wolves in that game. Harry, there's been a couple of transfer rumours swirling around. Mikel Antonio of West Ham is one of them. Liam Keane at the Express and Star is reporting that West Ham are trying to block that. I didn't realise he was 32. He's actually only 18 months younger than Diego Costa. And I don't know, read into that what you will. Is he the right kind of person that we need to be bringing in? I would suggest yes. Good Premier League pedigree. And what I said a couple of weeks ago on the podcast is poaching good players off teams in and around the same area of us, and he would certainly tick a box for that.
Well, yeah, I'd definitely take him, but if I was West Ham, I'd block it too. Why would they want to help us? They're down there fighting for relegation with us. Dawson as well, isn't it? The defender.
Dawson, yeah, Craig Dawson.
Craig Dawson, we want. Again, if I was West Ham, I wouldn't do that. Only Wolves are stupid enough to sell players to rival teams, like Cody to Everton, Gibbs-White to Forest, Bolly
Cody to Everton was a masterstroke.
yeah, it's a masterstroke, yeah. Bolly to bloody Forest. I don't know, man, but I'd take Antonio. I've always liked Antonio.
Yeah.
But we probably need Dawson more than Antonio, don't we? I think we need a defender more than we do a striker.
We need centre back cover. What's happened to Antonio then? Because going back 18 months at West Ham, he was the main man, wasn't he? And why would he even consider? I won't believe this one until it happens. If it does happen, to be honest with you, I can't see it. But has he not been playing as much, or what?
I'm assuming so. I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I'm not sure. But
I think it's just one of those where they've gone, oh shit, it's shit or bust basically, and they've gone, who's available, who we can get. They're going to have to pay more in terms of market value. Anyway, where's Bayliss on holiday again? Probably skiing. Yeah, I don't know. But there was another one. I think Sky Sports were reporting that Felipe of Atletico could be on his way. Experienced centre back, 33 years old. Couple of Brazil caps in there since 2018. Looks to be a safe and steady pair of boots at the back, if you like. So, I mean, that could happen again. It would probably be a cut price deal due to his age. Are these little fixes that you think is the right way to go, and then hopefully achieve survival jack in the summer, and then look to bolster the squad with, the 26, 27-year-old?
I don't know about little fixes. I'm hoping the players that he brings in will, be part of his plans, not just for the short term, but for the next couple of years, to be honest with you. But in January is always weird, isn't it? It's about what you can get rather than everything that's out there. And, the one player he has brought in so far is shown glimpses of being very good. One of those tonight, really. He seems to have a bit of a sense of humour with these little, with his basically mimicking Gibbs-White's penalty celebration just after his was. I think the fans will like that. They'll get him on board pretty quickly. Obviously, it didn't end very well in the end, but I'm not sure really. I reckon there has to be cover brought in, particularly centre back. Really, we've got 3 centre backs, and sometimes we play with 3 centre backs in the same starting 11, like you saw tonight. Really, Johnny isn't a centre back. Let's be honest, he's not tall enough. So we definitely need cover there. We need firepower up front. So yeah, Antonio would make sense for that really. And how many people are you going to get in January that January with Premier League experience who can score, who will come to a team that is in a relegation battle? But saying that, everything I've seen so far is positive, and I think that we will get out of it.
That says it all, doesn't it? That
What's that?
A Forest fan in the chat.
Macaulay says, as a Forest fan, I'm surprised that wasn't a penalty in this snowflake decade. I wouldn't give it. But if you were Man United, that would be a penalty. That's from Macaulay, who is
his
he
boot
or
flew
she.
off
They
and
them.
split in half.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Neves is holding his boot, going, his boot's come off, and that's the thing. Another one that's been linked today, I think, is Mario Lemina, former Fulham, Southampton, Juventus, Galatasaray central midfielder, currently with Nice.
That's nice.
It is in France. I mean, that's Boubacar Traoré that screams to me. Is he? Do we need to sort of get him back, Harry, or is a centre midfielder really on the list?
Well, he's 2 months out, isn't he, apparently? So a centre
2
midfielder.
months, is it?
Yeah, but that's the rumour. So got to be on the list, hasn't it? I do like the look of Hodge, but you can't put all the pressure on him. I know Lopetegui seems to like him, but yeah, what's his name? The bloke who took over Sellers. Is it Hobbs? The new bloke,
Matt Hobbs.
Yeah, he said that we were going to look to bring 2 or 3 in. We've only brought Cunha in at the moment, so it should happen. I know everyone wanted it the 1st of January, but that's not realistic. Mark Rose just put in the comments, sorry, I've lost it now, but he said 17th will be a fantastic season considering we can't score goals. I agree with that. I'd take 17th now if you offered it me, but against Liverpool we could score goals. So if we play that formation, maybe just don't start Raul. I think we will get a few more goals. I know I'm being harsh on Raul, but come on, he is done, isn't he?
I think it did make me laugh when you think you put in the group that he's just walking around trying to look busy.
Yeah, it generally looks like he just runs, sprints for a bit, and it's just to look like he's doing something because he's not making any runs he used to get in good positions. I know he scored a good goal, a tap in, great ball into him, and you've got to be there.
Got to be there, yeah.
You've got to be there. So I suppose it is. I'm going to get pelters, but everything else he did was awful.
I suppose a couple of things that just spring to mind on that is I know probably Hwang and Jimenez got pelters first half, but the two chances we created was Hwang to Jimenez and Jimenez to Hwang. So, just because I guess, neither of them can finish. To be fair, I think Hwang was unlucky, really. He did everything right. He hit into the ground. It's, just went straight at him. The thing that really annoyed me about Jimenez was the Liverpool game where we had a break on, and I think it was basically a 4-on-3. And he had a ball left and a ball right. Either of them was fine. It didn't matter. And instead, he just ran into their centre-back and we lost possession from a really promising position. And that sort of thing is just unforgivable because I think he's just trying too hard to get the glory, I think, now, rather than actually thinking with a football brain and playing it the way it should go. And that's probably just more of a worry than anything, really.
Hungry Like the Wolf says how useless was Adama when he came on, didn't even try, went for C nutmegs rather than taking it on. Couldn't agree more.
Took the words out of my mouth. When he come on, I was really excited. I thought he's gonna be the match winner, and he was awful. I don't know if it's because he's absolutely pissing down with rain. He didn't fancy it, but I agree. They did like double and triple up on him, but twice he just tried to run through at people, didn't he? Like he literally just tried to run at them.
What happened? It's bad decision making because They put two men on him straight away. You can see that. But the thing with Adama is he doesn't just think, okay, I've got too many. I'm going to play the easy ball back. He thinks they're giving it to me. So I've got to try and get past them, even when it's not on. And that's what he did a few times tonight. It's like you're thinking, just pass it back to Nunes. He's open. And rather than that, he tries to be clever and just falls on his arse. So
that's the thing. If it's not Podence doing stupid flicks, it's someone doing them in dangerous areas or ones where there could be an attacking option and they don't take it. I don't know what to say, really. I think when you look at how the draws panned out, and by the looks of it, obviously it would have been Manchester United, so I don't think we did particularly badly. But Harry, we're starting to see glimpses of a team now. We've said that, if you look at it on the whole, Lopetegui's reign so far has been quite encouraging. So do you feel that these are steps in the right direction, although obviously we are disappointed coming on straight after a loss, especially on penalties?
Yeah, including the Gillingham game, we've won 2 in his first run of games, and the signs are there, aren't they? We mentioned it over the weeks. His substitutions are refreshing. I think he made his first mistake tonight by starting with 5 at the back, but he's not going to make every single decision perfectly. And obviously, everyone's a genius in hindsight. But yeah, I think I'm confident still we'll be absolutely fine in the league. We were the better team tonight, I think. I think we deserve to win it. It's just, again, it was that struggle of us with the cutting edge. We only got the 1 goal. We should have got more. Rodin look a bit at the back. Need a couple of players. But yeah, I like Lopetegui. I like how animated he is on the sidelines. I'd never expected us to go to Liverpool the weekend and pretty much beat them 3-2. So yeah, I think all the signs are positive still. I know if Bayliss was here, he'd say we're going down in 20th on 4 goals. But he everyone in the chat who's asking about Bayliss, he just refused to do it. He went to bed because obviously he was so annoyed about Gibbs-White sticking his fingers in his ears. And Bayliss would have said something to get this podcast shut down. So in a way, we're glad he went to bed. We're glad he went to bed. So.
Jack, reasons to be cheerful, obviously, aside from Lopetegui's reign looking positive, the fact that Cunha has grabbed Morgan Gibbs-White fills you with a little bit of positivity.
Yeah, I mean, reasons to be cheerful. We look a lot better. That was Lopetegui's sixth game, and the improvement is massive, isn't it? Really, we've got two fewer games to contend with now. Really, in already a congested fixture list, which isn't a bad thing considering where we are. But at the same time, I also always think, particularly when you rotate your squad, is you don't get better at football by not playing football. It's kind of something that I think sometimes, particularly when a new manager trying to learn about new players and new faces coming in, those games could have been useful. We're not out of the FA Cup, albeit that it's just ridiculous that we really, really should have been there. You know what will happen? They'll beat us 3-0 in the next game or something stupid, won't they? So that's what's going to happen. And then Reason to be cheerful. Actually, another one is that it annoyed Jurgen Klopp having an extra game, so he can cry about that like he does every January about how hard it is on Liverpool, the fixture list with all these massive amounts of players and squad, and he can have a little whinge about it and say,
he mentioned
no,
that,
blah,
didn't
blah,
he,
blah, blah, blah.
in his post?
Yeah, what a prick. But
to be fair to him, though, he did at least he admitted that our third was a goal, didn't he? I thought he was going to be like, giving it just go with the referee's decision. But imagine, I know we've said it and we keep going on about it, but imagine the uproar if that would have happened to Liverpool.
Oh,
their fans, Klopp, we'd still be on about it now.
It'd have been all week, wouldn't it? And you still get these absolute moron virgins on Twitter whose like profile picture is like a Liverpool badge saying, "What you're about is offside. Who's offside? Who's offside? It's offside."
There's freeze frame in the wrong time, so it looks like
freeze frame in the wrong time. Not understanding how phases of play work in football these days. Even though it's been like it forever. Like just because someone's offside at some point, and this is the whole logic doesn't make sense because the whole logic they're saying would mean that Salah would have been offside for the first goal. Also, again, going back to phases of play. One of their players had a chance to clear the ball in for Toti's goal that wasn't a goal, which is no different in my mind to what Toti Gomez did, try to clear the ball for Salah's goal. Yeah. But so where's the difference really? He's had a chance to clear it, he's fluffed it, so surely everyone's back on side then, by the same logic that ruled out the first goal. I've thought about this a lot in the last few days, I know, like everyone has, but
I was just happy. Like after the game, I was angry. But then when I saw the likes of like Robbie Fowler and I think even Danny Murphy said, look, if some of their ex-players or whatever, or like Carragher or someone would have gone quiet and not admitted it, I would have been fuming. But even to be fair to Liverpool fans, I know that you mentioned a few did tweet things like you just said, but it weren't as many as I thought it was going to be. A lot of them just stayed quiet because they knew they'd got away with it. I think that says a lot for Twitter as well. Like usually Liverpool fans, even if like they don't think they should have he's got against them, but they knew, didn't they? They absolutely knew. It was horrendous. It's the worst VAR decision apart from, you mentioned, Sam, was it in lockdown when the goal line technology broke for Villa?
Yeah, Sheffield United.
It was like that, wasn't it? It was on the. I reckon it was probably as bad or if worse than that.
Again, just thinking about this now, I knew already that VAR didn't use the same pictures as the broadcasters did. I think everyone knew that. That was the thing. They have different things. But in my stupid mind, then I thought, okay, they're using their own cameras. They would have cameras permanently set up in fixed positions which cover every part of the pitch. So what's happened? What's failed? That's what I don't understand. What has failed?
There should not be an angle.
Yeah, the VAR, they don't use the broadcasters' pictures, but there's one camera and someone's running about with it. Just to I don't understand what's going on. How is there not an angle to cover all the areas of the pitch at the whole time? It's 2023, and how many cameras are there? Everyone's got a camera on their phone in that stadium. There's
a lot come out, didn't it? Yeah.
There's 60,000 cameras just with normal people there, and there can't be a camera that permanently covers every part of the pitch. I remember when we went to the tour years ago. You were there, Sam. We went to the Amsterdam Arena in Amsterdam, obviously.
In Bolton, in Bromsgrove.
They said there that they had CCTV cameras. This is about 20 years ago. That if anyone was sending a text message, they could read every person's text message in that stadium. Wow. And that was 20 years ago. So why now in the Premier League is there not a camera that's permanently fixed, watching every part of the pitch? That's why I don't buy it. And this is why you've got stupid conspiracy theory stuff. It's like, would it have happened the other way around? No, they'd dig and find a.
You sent the picture into WhatsApp and I tweeted it off our account and it blew up a bit. You sent that still of BN Sports with the Hawkeye image. How have BN Sports got that, but not them in Stockley Park?
Exactly. It's ridiculous. The degree at which footballers are tracked, every movement on the pitch is tracked these days, because then you say this person's ran 5.8 kilometres in this half or whatever it might be, and this is their heat map. Everyone knows where every player is at the exact moment in every game of top tier football. So I think it's just bollocks, isn't it?
Mark makes the point of, the issue is no transparency from the people in charge. After every game, the officials should be interviewed like players and managers regarding the game. It's like the mafia in charge. I'd have to agree. I think it can't be long, can it, Harry, until we're starting to see officials in front of the cameras after games, because even if it's just to justify, well, this is what I saw, or give them the chance to say, well, look, I got it wrong.
Especially in this situation, because the linesman didn't put his flag up. I know they're meant to wait now, but that image coming out of the referee, like literally waving at him to put the flag up, is horrendous. So we need to know why he did that. And I agree they need to be held accountable. And the thing is, I've seen someone make the argument with VAR. They say it's not the technology's fault. It's literally the officials, like Mike Dean was in Stockley Park. I know they had no access to the camera, so it is VAR, isn't it, really? But even tonight, we're having bad luck with VAR and just referees in general. We can't win. I think the officiating in this country is horrendous. Look at the World Cup. I think it went quite smoothly, didn't it? The World Cup. I think maybe it's just our officials. I don't know.
It went really well in the World Cup. However, there were some very soft penalty calls, which probably went the way of big players and big teams, thinking of Messi and these sorts of things, and penalties given against them. The problem with that, probably, or the difference is that I can't get in my head that there's a conspiracy theory about them wanting teams like Liverpool to go further in the FA Cup because it builds the brand. And when it's Argentina playing Poland, whoever it was, where there's soft penalties given against it, everyone's expecting Argentina to go through anyway because the best teams usually go through in the World Cup and reach the later stages because there's quite a big gap between the top teams and the next level teams. Liverpool going out of the FA Cup to, although Wolves are a good team, they're not a glamorous team globally. Just makes me think I just can't get this bad taste out of my mouth, and that's the thing which I think a lot of people have been struggling with.
Aaron said all football had to do was copy and paste rugby's video ref, and they've somehow messed it up. Shrub says, or instead of an interview, have the mic connected to the stadium so everyone can hear them.
Is that they do in rugby? I've never been to a rugby game. Can you actually hear them on the channel?
On the TV.
You can on the TV, you can, yeah. So if you're watching at home, you can.
Imagine how good would that be on Sky Sports and that, and you could hear the refs. But I reckon it would cause even more outrage. Imagine if you heard
another layer of entertainment.
Imagine if you heard the ref on the Liverpool game that we played, and you hear the ref going, "Put your flag, Lino, put the flag up, get on the check, get on the check. It's Liverpool, it's Liverpool."
That's why they won't do it.
I think one of the other reasons that they won't do it is because of the swearing, and that will play a major part. Because in rugby, you don't get the players swearing at all.
They respect the refs.
It just becomes unbroadcastable then.
True, but they do it in some countries. It's not just football globally, because the Australian referee who refs in the Premier League now. There's videos of him refereeing in the Australian A League, and they do it. You can hear what he's saying all the time. But the way you stop all this stuff about. You could stop it in 2 weeks. You could stop all the dissent on the pitch and the swearing. Is if you just say, right, the two players who talk to the referee are the two captains. That's it. Anyone else questions him, you get booked. Anyone swears at him, you get booked. The first few weeks, there'd be red cards galore, but it'll be over pretty quickly. So I don't know why they don't do it. Really.
The thing is, we say that all the time about diving. We clear it up straight away if we just booked everyone who was diving, and it just never seemed. I don't know why. Another thing,
the referees made a mistake with in the Liverpool game. They didn't book Totti for taking his top off.
No,
so it was just one mistake after another.
Can you book someone for celebrating a goal that it wasn't a goal?
Well, he still took his top off. If he just randomly did it while the game was on, he'd get booked, wouldn't he?
What if he had blood in his shirt?
He didn't, did he? He was just running off, right?
Well, I don't know. How you.
What are you more angry about? Gibbs-White doing the ear celebration or that VAR?
I don't give a fuck about Gibbs-White. Honestly, I don't give a shit about.
Sounds like it.
No, I'm not really very bothered. Whatever, do what he wants. Okay, well done. You've you got your little move away. Well done. Obviously, you didn't want to be here, so
I hope.
Fair play to you, crack.
I don't want to say it. Actually, I might stop myself. I just hope a certain female other half
Brittany
doesn't put anything on because that would tip me over the edge. If she puts his Instagram stories on and tweets, I won't do anything, but it'll annoy me.
Just on the point of the referees and stuff, I don't know. What I don't understand is why broadcasters haven't just gone and got the referees report after a game and read it out. I've never known anyone do that. They go and they write a report.
Yeah, well, Neves and Lopetegui apparently were in the referees' room for ages after the game, wasn't they? And I bet the refs just didn't say what they're going to say. They can't say. I think they knew they'd made a mistake. And like you said, nothing's been said, has it? Like they haven't come out and said, "Yeah, sorry, it was onside," because I think it caused even more uproar. So they're just going to stay quiet. There's still nothing been said about it, has there?
Well, there's no way of properly proving it with the camera angles that they would say were conclusive. So the thing with Hawkeye, they got an apology with the goal line technology for Hawkeye when it failed Villa Sheffield United because it failed. They just said, "Look, yeah, it just didn't work in that circumstance." But I don't think they will because, like you said, it would cause more uproar if they came out and said it should have been a goal. But.
That's it.
Tell them to ask for Dazzling Days vlog footage and send that to the Even from the angle beyond the goal, you can see Nunes was onside.
You just knew it straight away. As soon as I said there's no pictures, I was like, in the next day or so, it didn't even take a day. It took a few hours, really. There's going to be so many fan videos pop up of people filming that because every game you go to now, there's a corner or a free kick or whatever. There's so many phones just filming, and we can prove it straight away. But shambles.
Right. Well, next up is West Ham. Harry, I imagine we'll see some changes from the side that start tonight. Who do you think has got a starting berth?
Well, Collins straight back in. Obviously, Neves starts. Probably the same team that started against Villa, minus Hwang for me. I don't think... Saying that, I thought Hwang did okay. I was frustrated with him at times first half, but I thought second half he did a lot better. And I think Lopetegui likes Hwang, hence the fact he's been starting him a lot in the Premier League. And that's a good thing, the fact we're going straight into West Ham. I know it's annoying tonight, but straight back at it, haven't we? Straight back into it. Try and forget about it. If we win Saturday, we'll be over tonight very quickly. And yeah, I think it'd be the team that started against Villa pretty much. Costa might be injured. So as I mentioned, I would start Cunha over Raul. So that would be who I'd have up front. I hope you don't go 5 at the back. That would be silly. I hope you don't do that. Go the 4-4-2 or the 4-4-1-1 or 4-3-3, hopefully.
Jack? Sorry, I was on mute then. I was like,
you muted yourself then? I don't know.
I mean, I think we missed Bueno, to be fair. I think he should come straight back in.
Bueno, good shout, yeah. I think he'd be in.
I forgot about Bueno, yeah. Aït-Nouri, wasn't the best tonight, was he, really? That's probably why he got subbed, but you're asking a lot of him, playing in a different position. Do
you think he's trying to do Gareth Bale with that? I think he's trying to take him from left back into a combative winger.
He's trying to
take up golf, does he?
Yeah.
It's worked well so far, isn't it, really? I mean, it's there's still rumours flying around that he might be going, though, aren't there? But you can't let him go because he's... But
do you think Xiao's doing enough? People were slagging off Moutinho tonight for his performance, but he's had a few good games, I think.
Yeah, but I was just worried about when we saw the starting lineup. I was just worried about Moutinho and just his legs in midfield, and I think it showed pretty quickly. Really, I mean, Neves makes everything tick for us, doesn't he? Even when he's ropey, like he was for the first 15 minutes when he came on. But
I didn't think he was too bad tonight.
He's all right. Yeah, I was a bit surprised how much stick he was getting online. To be honest, I thought he was all right.
Hwang seems to be divided opinion because just reading these comments here, I've seen a few people say that he seems to have improved a lot under Lopetegui. He was quite good tonight. And other people saying he was terrible. So I don't know whether it's just the prejudice you've got already thinking that Hwang, just Hwang off for God's sake, or whether we are, I don't know, just can't change our opinion that quickly. But what do you two think?
Yeah. I think everything has become so binary these days that if you don't take a liking to someone straight away, they become your public enemy number one. It seems. So Harry, Forest is so bad. What does that make us?
Bad, but I think we're better than Forest. I really do. I do. I thought we were better than them tonight. On that, I think we're pulling. I don't know. I think we're still pulling in a better direction than them. They got battered in the FA Cup with their second team. It is annoying we've lost. That comment is just winding me up even more because we should have beaten them tonight.
But yeah,
I really don't rate them.
Losing a penalty shootout does not mean that you are worse than that team. That's not how it works, is it? I mean, they were holding on towards the end. You could tell they knew that we had the momentum and we were the main attacking presence. Even though they had a few chances, on the break. But second half, we were much the better side. But if you don't score, you don't win games, do you? No, can't really moan.
Is there a Leeds fan giving a stick in the comments? If you'd have beaten us, it could have been you tonight.
I think he's on about Gibbs-White. Not us.
There you go. I take it personally straight away, straight from the trigger. Let's do a score prediction for West Ham, Harry.
Oh God, I've got to be confident. We're going to concede because we always do. They're going to get 1 goal. We're going to get 2. I'm going with 2-1 Wolves.
Jack.
Just looking at their recent form, it's pretty terrible, man. They lost the last 4. Lost the last 4 league games.
Oh, that's what that means, doesn't it?
What? 1-0 West Ham, then I'm going with that. Yeah. After all this positivity and the fact we can combat ourselves right now by saying, "Oh, it's really disappointing. We lost on penalties. We should have won. It would have been a semi-final. We'd have a City are out. We've had a real chance. We can say it doesn't matter because we know we need to stay up and we can focus on Saturday. So we're going to lose. We'll lose on Saturday.
Just
then we'll
look
be
at the
back
comments, Jack.
down to
It's
earth.
either the Wolves are going to win, maybe scrape it 2-1, 1-0, and Morgan Gibbs-White as a bell end. So there you go. That's all you need to do. Go to the comments section, you'll feel much better. Perfect. Okay, well, we'll leave that there for another week. We'll say thank you and goodbye. It's a goodbye from Harry Mansell.
Goodbye to you two, but not goodbye to Gibbs-White. I hope you have a really bad rest of the season.
And it's goodbye from Jack. It's goodbye
I
from
hope you
Jack
sleep on
Williams.
your elbow.
I hope you stub your toe when you get
Hope you
tomorrow.
fall out of bed. Yeah, bye.
I hope you wake up in the middle of the night and get a drink and you spill it.
Yeah.
I do that a
annoying,
lot.
isn't it?
Like trying to pick it up and it just falls on your
It's
mattress.
annoying, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh.
Oh dear. It's a goodbye from me. Goodbye.